What is up, everybody? I am Get Flanked, and Warden is the new defender that's coming to Rainbow Six Siege in Operation Phantom Sight. Ubisoft was nice enough to fly me out to San Francisco and allow me to play the new operation early, and in this video we're going to be going over Warden. I'm going to show you some early access gameplay. We'll go over his loadout, everything that he has available to him. We'll go in depth with his gadget, exactly how it works, who he counters, who counters him, and then finally I'll give you my impressions as far as Warden. Is he going to be strong? Is he somebody that I think will get played a lot? To start out with just kind of an overall statement regarding Warden, he's an answer to a problem that the defenders have had to deal with for a very long time, and that is the smoke or Yin Candela execute on site. Warden is designed to be played as an anchor, and as that anchor, he's designed to have a gadget that will allow him to stand his ground no matter what the attackers throw at him. Normally, when the attackers execute with smokes or Yin Candelas, it opens up a window that will allow them to plant on site. With Warden on the board, that's no longer going to be the case unless he gets disabled by an EMP, but more on that later. The way that I see Warden playing out is that he's going to be a site-specific operator. He's not going to be picked every single defensive round, but a lot of times you're going to find objectives in the game where he will be very common to be used on those objectives. So yes, he is situational, but he's also a direct counter to blitz, and that makes him pretty cool in my book. Getting into Warden's loadout, first of all, he is a 3 armor, 1 speed defender. His unique gadget is called the Glance Smart Glasses. It's eyewear that improves visibility in smoke while standing still. Can also be activated to protect against or reduce flash blindness. So a very important distinction to make right off the bat here. His ability to see through smoke is predicated upon him standing still with his gadget active. But with flashes, whether that's blitz, ying, or flash grenades, he does not need to be standing still. He only needs his gadget to be active. He can be running or whatever. It doesn't matter what's going on with flash grenades. As long as his gadget's active, it's going to protect him. But when it comes to smoke, he needs to be sitting still before he can see through the smoke. Getting into his weapons now, and we're not going to spend a lot of time here because all these weapons are currently in the game, but as far as his primaries, he does have the M590A1 shotgun. That's the SAS shotgun, widely regarded by many as the best shotgun in the game, same one that Smoke and Mute have available. As far as his other primary option, it is the MPX. That's the SMG that he has available to him. It's the same SMG that Valkyrie has. Moving on to Warden's secondaries, and he has the P10C pistol available to him. That's the same pistol that Clash has, and it has that very nice red dot sight attached to it. His other secondary option is the SMG-12. That's the same SMG secondary that both Dokkaebi and Visual have available to them. So based upon the weapons that Warden has available to him, you can go 2 different routes. You can play the SMG. You're not going to have an ACOG for it. Keep that in mind. But you will be playing an SMG with a higher fire rate that many people who get good headshots can use very well. If you want to go the other route, you can run that shotgun with the SMG-12 secondary, similar to how like a Mute or Smoke would run that shotgun with the SMG-11 secondary. The SMG-12, in my opinion, is not quite as good as the SMG-11, not as easy to use, but still, that's an option. So you can kind of decide which way you want to go there. As far as the gadgets he has available to him, it's a deployable shield or barbed wire. And that's about it as far as Warden's loadout. Let's get into some gameplay now, and I have a round here that I'm just going to let play. You'll hear all the team comms and everything. After this round's over, we'll come back in, we'll break down his gadget a little bit more. I'll show you how it interacts with some of the other operators. I'll show you what counters it. I'll show you a gunfight of a Glaz against a Warden, both looking through smoke. And then finally, I'll give you my impressions regarding Warden and how strong I think he is.
West.
Yeah, that's bakery side. Okay, Habana holes.
Clearing LOS.
Peek in there. Okay.
That's awkward. That's the real awkward. They didn't fall for it.
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
Oh, we kept the mirror. Alright, I'm gonna rotate. You guys are watching that
Right
way.
outside that door, Varsity pings. There's one right under you, too.
Still someone peeking that mirror, or that Habana hole.
On the west side?
Yeah, it looks like a
Okay.
buck.
One outside on the ping.
Yeah, they just drowned it.
Yeah, I see two over there. On the west side of my bakery.
One in bakery.
Oh, got one.
Outside there, bronze.
Got it. I'm waiting for him.
He's going through over by the bakery by the holes they blew. It's a bug.
That's Buck. Nice.
Let's engage. Op 4, last operator standing.
That was Blackbeard. Last one spooky over here. I'm coming. She ran outside. Oh, back in.
Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Yeah, you look so slow with that gun up at your normal speed.
Okay, so if you notice in that clip, there wasn't an instance there where his gadget was really useful. And in order to show how useful it can be, I got to do it in testing. And that doesn't mean necessarily that his gadget isn't going to be useful in the game. But you have to understand in these like early access environments, everybody's just kind of messing around and, you know, nobody's really taking it all that serious. So finding that instance of somebody pushing with Glaz or Ying or something like that is pretty tough to do in the short time that we have with these operators. But with that said, we're going to get into some testing footage now, so you'll see exactly how his gadget works. Okay, so on the screen now, you're seeing me mess around with some smoke. And what I want you to pay attention to is when he throws the smoke, I activate the gadget, and there's these two bars up on the side. You'll see them kind of go up and down. That's showing me how much visibility I have. And you'll notice that once I start moving or even turning side to side, those bars start to go down, and my visibility through the smoke goes down. So that's important to know with him. You do have kind of indicators as far as it telling you how much visibility you have through smoke at any given time. In this clip, you're also seeing how he is affected by flashes using Blitz, and it works the same with flash grenades or Ying Candelas. Basically, again, like I said in the beginning, that if his gadget's active, you're not going to be affected by flashes, okay? That's really all you need to know. It doesn't matter if you're sprinting, doesn't matter if you're looking at it, doesn't matter at all. As long as his gadget's active, that flash will have no effect on you. As you can see, his gadget works similar to like a visual gadget, and where you activate it, it lasts for a period of time, and then it has a cooldown. One thing of note with his cooldown period is you can activate the gadget again during that cooldown period, but of course you get that reduction in time that it will be available to you. So you don't have to wait for the full cooldown period before you use his gadget again. Now on the screen right now, you're seeing me playing as a Glaz and peeking against a Warden. I would still say that Glaz does have the advantage in this situation. Yes, Glaz has been nerfed now where his vision through the smoke is reduced by how much he's moving, but he still has a scope, you know, a zoomed in scope DMR against Warden trying to peek with the MPX. So I do win this fight against the Warden through the smoke, and I think that in most situations as a Warden you're still going to want to be really careful peeking a Glaz through a smoke, again because you're going to lose that visibility as you start peeking out into it. So as far as who Warden counters as an operator, it's not so much the operators that he counters as much as the playstyle or the attacking playstyle. If they're trying to execute using flashes, candelas, or smokes, Warden counters that playstyle. As far as the operators that counter Warden, the real hard counter that comes to mind is going to be Thatcher and his EMPs. On the screen right now, you're seeing me as Warden get my gadget disabled by Thatcher throwing an EMP in my radius. And the way that this works is similar to like Pulse and his scanner. I believe it's even the same amount of time that it disables Warden's gadget is the same amount of time that an EMP disables Pulse's scanner. So if you're familiar with that mechanic and how it works, that's exactly the same as it works with Warden. Now let's get into my impressions of Warden. Is he strong? Is he somebody that I think will be picked a lot? I think that Warden is the most situational operator that we have ever seen introduced into Rainbow Six Siege. In that specific situation, yes, he's strong. Yes, he can do something that no other defender can do, and that is going to be very useful. With that said, if you are picking Warden and the other team does not use flashes, smokes, or candelas, then you're left with a 3 armor, 1 speed defender who has an MPX and no ACOG. Now that's unless you run the shotgun SMG 12 combo, but no matter what, you're going to be running a 3 armor, 1 speed with no ACOG at the end of the day. So if you're picking Warden, you need to be sure that you're encountering that situation where he excels. If he doesn't encounter that situation, then you would probably be better off with a different operator. And that's the brutal truth when it comes to Warden. With that said, I don't mean to make him sound not strong. I think that the fact that he is an answer to the execute style that has been so tough for defenders to deal with for so long in this game makes him instantly viable. It's just going to be a matter of figuring out exactly which sites he's viable on, and he's not a defender that I would see being a universal pick every single round. One thing that has kind of crossed my mind with Warden is that he may be an operator that grows in strength over the time that this game is available and the more operators come out. Maybe next season we're going to receive another operator that has some type of flashing mechanic, and that'll be a buff to Warden. So time will tell with Warden exactly how strong he is. It kind of depends on what other operators come into the game. But for right now, I think it's safe to say that he's an anchor that's very situational. Okay, that's going to do it for the video. I have already done a video similar to this with Knock outlining her and what my impression of her was. So that'll be linked in the top right-hand corner if you want to go check that out. Make sure that you do. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll have more coming your way here soon.